Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
Miss Tanya.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, the
Correct.
speaker for today, is it?
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay, 1, 2, 5. Can you hear me? Or is
Yes,
it like,
and I think lagging. Is that mine or yours? I'm not sure. That's why I also wanted to know.
yeah, let me
Because
check.
I also was maybe it's my internet connection. Yeah.
I'm worried about my internet connection
No,
as
no,
well
okay.
because the weather here is a bit,
Oh,
rainy.
yeah, because in KL here also as well, basically it's like quite heavy. I think it's going to rain because it's like very cloudy. Yep.
Yeah, these few days it has been raining.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait for we are still early, so we'll wait for the rest to join in.
Yep, can.
So you're based in KL, is it?
Yes, I'm based in KL. Yep, correct.
Okay. We're hoping to expect around 10 audience or
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Can.
So basically, just before the rest come in, there will be because it's a 45 minutes
All
session.
right. Yeah.
So probably at the 30 minutes mark, we will try to wrap it up so that there will be a Q&A session that will follow through. But if there's slight extension in time, then I'll just give you a heads up.
Can. Thanks so much. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
I just want to make sure my phone is turned turned off.
No
No, no,
worries.
it's like the volume. Wait, let me just make sure. Okay.
Okay, we have it. We are still early, so we will try to start the session at around 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we have to wait for them. Yeah, no worries. Can.
Okay.
Okay. How many N-level students you all have this year?
This
Roughly?
one, no.
No. No
Okay.
idea.
Let me check and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I just confirmed there are around 60 plus A-level students in Lodge. Hi. Okay. Okay, we'll be starting our EduFair talk very soon. Now it's in another 2 minutes time if possible, but probably we'll wait until 3:05 thereabouts, and hoping to have more participants by then. Okay. Okay, I hope everyone can hear me. Can anyone hear me? Okay, Miss Chan, can you hear me? Miss Chan? Okay. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Elaine, can you hear me?
Yes, can.
Okay, okay. Okay, just want to confirm that everyone can hear me.
Yes, yes.
All right, because now it's 3 p.m. We're supposed to start now, but maybe we can wait another 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes thereabouts. Hopefully, there will be more people coming in. Okay, we have more people in already. Okay, hi everyone. For all that just joined in, maybe we will wait another until 3:05. Hopefully that there will be more people coming in before we start the session. Okay, thank you. Okay, we will start the session very soon at approximately 3:05, right? Everyone, thank you. Okay, it's 3:05 already. Okay, we will start the session now. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Lodge School EduFair Talk with Miss Miss Chan Wai Yan from University of Queensland. My name is Jamie and I'll be your moderator for this session. So let's start the presentation by Miss Chan, and then this will be followed by the Q&A session at around 30 minutes mark. And you may either ask questions by unmuting your microphone and asking directly, or type your questions into the chat windows at the site. So without further ado, Ms. Chan, would you like to take over?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So basically what I will do is I will do a share screen now, and I will start off my presentation with a video about UQ. And then also at the end of the sessions, we will share a video taken by our business faculty students regarding their experience at UQ as well as their experience in Brisbane. So basically what I will do, I will start the sessions now. Can you see the screen that I share? Can you see now? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the University of Queensland, we are actually located in the state of Queensland, the second largest state in Australia. And the university is actually located in the city of Brisbane, where to the CBD area is about 10 minutes by bus. And we actually have a campus in Brisbane City, called St. Lucia campus, as well as Gayton campus that is an hour away from Brisbane City. And another campus is Hurston campus, actually is located in Brisbane also as well. So basically, in terms of Queensland state, if you can see, we're actually very rich in resources, like we have Great Barrier Reef, we have the rainforest, and we also have the basically the biggest agriculture and farming industry in Australia. So basically, UQ actually have a lot of areas that we actually good at in the world that we rank very highly because of the nature of the place in Queensland, that our academics will be able to do well. So basically, in terms of the Brisbane city, if you can see, the population size of Brisbane city is 2.4 million. That is actually half size of Sydney and Melbourne. Sydney and Melbourne already have a 5 million population. That is actually, for us, is 2.4 million. That is actually the third largest city in Australia. Brisbane city, if you can see, our population of people who born overseas is about 30%, 70% of them are still Australian. So basically, if you are looking for a city itself that is not too big, as well as you have an Australian culture or the Australian environment, Brisbane city could be one of the locations that you can consider. And in terms of the temperature, if you can see, throughout the 300 days, basically we have a temperature of 21 degrees to 28 degrees throughout the whole year. And we enjoy a subtropical weather. That's why in Queensland state, we actually call a sunshine state, where our temperature, we do not have actually a very drastic change in temperature as opposed to other states, because they have a very dry weather. So for us, it's a subtropical. And Brisbane city, in another 10 years, we are actually a growing city. And another 10 years, the city, Brisbane City Council actually have a plan to develop the city as a something like Silicon Valley for Australia. So that's why for the past few years, even continuing for another 10 years, there's a lot of development at Brisbane City, and even a lot of like IT startup is actually setting up in Brisbane currently. So there is a lot of different opportunity that our students are exposed to, because we are one of the largest university in Queensland state, and we work very closely with the industry. So UQ, we actually consistently rank top 100 in the most of the global ranking. And if you can see some of this ranking, we actually top 50 in the world. So UQ consistently ranked top 100 over the few years in all these major ranking. And these are some of the subject ranking that we are in the top 30, top 50, or top 100. And in terms of this, I'm just highlighting here is a top 30 or top 50 program. So some of the areas we actually basically, if you're joining us, you can see that you're learning from a top researchers, top academic in the respective area. So as a research intensive university in Australia, basically we also expose students with a lot of different exposure in terms of research opportunity. We work very closely with the industry in terms of solving the problem, not just the industry community, solving the current issue. So that's why as a research intensive university is very important, because students really get to know what is really out there at this point in time. And they also exposed to all the different kind of like technology also as well. UQ has been ranked as the #1 university research in Australia now, and even with the new ranking in terms of the national index, we still maintain as a #1 in Australia. And a lot, 100% of the research are world standard. Some of the research that we actually very good, we actually pioneer in the world is, for example, the Cardiacel, actually that is the cervical cancer vaccine. The first cancer vaccine found in the world is cervical cancer vaccine, is founded at UQ. And even we are talking about the nano patch, new technology, we are talking about no more needles, reduce of needles in certain medication. So it's just patch and you get your medication. So there is another technology that they are using UQ technology. And even the world 2/3 of the world technology on the MRI machine is using UQ technology also as well. So what we are actually, our research also, as well as, for example, medical research, is also about COVID-19 research. And we actually passed by CEPI, is one of the institution that actually in the world that has been tasked to do the cancer vaccine research. So we are actually in a clinical trials. So in terms of the result, is very positive, and we hope that we will be able to start finalize everything by end of the year and get our first vaccine by next year. So as our teachers at UQ also is one of the highly awarded in Australia. Over the past few years, our academics have won a lot of teaching awards. So that's why our students really learn and really benefit from actually our award-winning teachers. And if you can see, we also receive 5-star in student demand, staff qualification, and teaching qualities, as well as education experience. So in terms of student experience, we also focus a lot, not just about academic. We also look at students in terms of how they transition at the university, even before their arrival, after they arrive, and even after they graduate. For example, when they arrive, they actually can request for a 0 to 4 mentoring. That is the first 5 weeks, they can have a senior mentor them how to navigate around the university, how to do your enrollment, things like that. So we have a mentorship even during the orientation week for the first 5 weeks. And upon graduation, our students join the alumni, where our alumni department will organize a lot of personal development session for the alumni, so that they can actually be in touch with the current issue around the world. And UQ, in terms of our student experience, we've been rated #1 among the top 8 universities in Australia for the past 2 years, in 2017 and 2018. The 2019 survey is not out yet. We hope by these few months it should be out. And in terms of, like, as I mentioned to you, we work very closely with the industry. Yes, basically we put a lot of opportunity for our students to do engagement with the industry even before they graduate. And I will cover this later on and as part of the sessions in my presentation. And we actually win the Best University Employer Partnership Award in 2019. And of course, UQ, we are located in Brisbane, as mentioned to you. It's a very vibrant city and very safe city. And we have actually ranked #11 beautiful campus in the world. So in terms of our population size of our students, we are a medium-sized university in Australia with a population size of 54,000 students, where 18,000 students of ours are international students. So it's about 40%, I would say, our students are international, come from 135 countries. About 60% are still very Australian. So I would say that if you want to look for a university that is also still an Australian university, you can consider UQ as one of the locations where you also can benefit in terms of like living in the Brisbane city. So in terms of our campuses, we have actually St. Lucia campus. Our St. Lucia campus, if you can see, these are some of the snapshots about the buildings. We have our lake and the student learning center. This is actually a science learning center. And basically, we can see here, actually, you can see my mouse here. I have actually, this is actually the whole big areas of University of Queensland St. Lucia campus. It's 114 hectares. So it's a small city within the whole university, because within the university itself, we have our own medical clinic, we have our dental clinic, pharmacy, speech clinic, 11 psychology clinic, then even we have physio clinic, things like that. And within the university, we have even 7 libraries. Some of our libraries are actually 24/7. So students can use the library facilities 24/7. Some of our facilities, like even computer lab, are 24/7. Architecture studio building areas also is 24/7. Example, our School of Law library is open 24/7 and is win award winning in terms of the architecture building of the School of Law building. And these are some of the residential colleges that students can stay. We have 10 residential colleges that students can stay on campus and enjoy the 24-hour security. So basically, we do have safety bus that sends students back to the accommodation nearby, or basically also walk them back to the accommodation. And if you can see a lot of facilities that we have, even the sport facilities, because UQ Sport is ranked number 3rd in the world, and we have very good sports facilities. For example, here we have 20 tennis courts, we have indoor, outdoor swimming pool, then we have the track fields, we have a lot of the a very good gymnasium, things like that. And we also have a UQ museum here that we also open it up to the public to actually use the facilities also as well. So basically a lot, even we have a bank, the Commonwealth Bank, actually a branch located on campus. We have a prayers room also as well. So basically a lot of our students spend a lot of times at the campus because of the facilities, and we have over 100 kind of like buildings within the university. And normally we have a UQ navigation app that the students use to navigate around the different buildings, the rooms in the building for your lectures and a tutorial or practical lab. To the city itself is just 10 minutes by bus. You can take, or you can actually go by ferry, because the Brisbane city is surrounded by the river. So our students commute by bus or commute by ferry, and international students get 50% off on public transport. We do have train in the city, but the train will not reach the university. So the main public transport, as I mentioned to you, is basically the bus or the ferry. And these are some of the off-campus accommodation that students stay, or even stay across the river here. There's some accommodation here also as well that our students stay. Even some students stay in the city itself and travel by bus just 10 minutes, and you get 50% off on public transport. So some students find it still worthwhile to stay outside the city. And Hurston campus is where we house our program like dental science, medical program, and population health. And next to it is the hospital also as well. So our students really learn and practice. And also there is a research center for the medical field beside the facilities. So basically we have Gayton campus. If you're looking for wet science program, wildlife science, agricultural science program related. So this is the campus where actually we located at the main agriculture and farming industry in Queensland. So that is where our students learn and practice. And that is, we also have a clinic, the vet clinic on campus that our students really practice. And also of course the farm animals that we have, that they can start pre-sessional. In the first year, our wet science students really start their practical training in the first year, first semester. Upon graduation, they already got a 3,000 hours practical training. So basically at UQ, we emphasize a lot in terms of career and employability, although we are research intensive university. We built in a lot of platform for our students to engage with employers through various scheme. For example, employability award, short summer winter research program, work experience learning, that is something like work integrated learning or internship, voluntary work, and of course, entrepreneurship and innovation. So at UQ, we have student employability center. Like any other university, you have career center. What we did a bit different is that at university now, we also have a group of staff under the student employability center sit within the faculty. Okay, so for example, Faculty of Business and Economics and Law have about 11 staff student under the employability team, gear the students in terms of the internship, voluntary work, and also all the different employers sessions. What they do is like they check the student CV, LinkedIn, even they conduct mock interview for the students also as well. All this stuff actually coming from the students center, they actually have the experience in employing candidate before in the employment. So we have this program we call UQ Employability Award that is very popular among all our students, is that they will work, they will go for work experience 100 hours, 100 hours voluntary work, and attend 5 supplementary workshop, and they will graduate out with a UQ Employability Award. They can do all this within 3 years if they go for the 3 years program at UQ, or they do 4 years or 5 years depending on the duration of the program. So basically students accumulate all this experience, and if you imagine you have done 100 hours work experience and 100 hours voluntary work, you really have 2 referees or even your future employers already there. So this is one of the examples that even our students are given opportunity to go overseas to actually gain their working experience. For example, this student's doing voluntary work, and she went to Vancouver, and she even applied for a travel grant to support this event. So at UQ, we do have some travel grant that students can apply to support their learning experience overseas. And these are some example that we show you. We have more companies and listed that is not just listed here, that our students go for internships or even voluntary work. So summer winter research is another platform that we expose our students with the research at UQ. So a lot of universities might not offer you this opportunity. So our students who actually, if you look at it, summer and winter actually is a holiday time in Australia for university students. We want our students to make full use of that. So some students will use their summer or winter to go to do this project with our researcher for about 4 weeks to 8 weeks, depending on the project, and they actually get funding to do. That is how we expose our students what is research about, if they intend to go for honors years, or they intend to become a research assistant or to progress on to PhD. So this is a very good platform. And even some of the projects that our researchers are doing is actually the industry project. That is where our researcher also as well connect some of the students for employment with the companies, because they're doing some of the project with the employers or even NGOs or the government, where we have projects throughout from even economics, arts, humanities, sciences, engineering, all those. So students are given the opportunity to participate in this program. And UQ, we also emphasize a lot of building our students' entrepreneurship and innovation skill. So entrepreneurship and innovation is quite big at UQ, where we offer program through the Ventures program, where actually we have the Idea Hub that help our students to go through the different workshop, about 6-week workshop, how to set up businesses. They even actually group together to do a project, and also actually going for a kind of like pitching ideas. So you see the employers also as well, they do sponsor about who actually get the pitching awards also as well. And part of the experience upon completion of the Idea Hub workshop, students can apply for a startup adventure overseas. So what we mean startup adventure here is like students can go to San Francisco, Shanghai, Tel Aviv, or even Singapore for a 4 weeks overseas experience working in a startup company. So again, students gain an overseas experience differently. And once they have the idea and they decided to start a business, we have Startup Academy here to help them to validate the ideas. That is where they go through another 3 months of workshop and to make sure that the business are sustainable. A lot of times business set up, but it's not sustained. That is where we actually teach our students or even graduates actually setting up business. Once they actually set up the business, we have the iLab, the incubator here to help them to actually set up the business, maintain the business, and also source for funding also as well. So UQ actually, we have all these entrepreneurs who are actually mentoring our students also as well when they start up the business. And these are some of the examples that at UQ, our students set up their business before they graduate or even after they graduate. And UQ actually, we have celebrated, in 2018, we celebrated 100 companies set up within UQ that is still sustained. That is where we have a very good track record in commercialization the companies. And we have about 1.3 billion sales every year within all these companies that run throughout the whole university. Instead of study areas, we offer a very comprehensive program at the university where we offer from agriculture, environmental, right up to even sciences that is related like zoology. Then we have vet science, we have dental science, speech program. We have exercise and sports science program, engineering, law, architectures, and planning, things like that. So if you finish A-levels, you can join us straight away for a bachelor program. A dual program is a double degree that we offer. And also another program that is very unique is a concurrent diploma. There are some programs that you can do concurrently with diploma, where you can actually graduate out with an example Bachelor of Arts with a language, example like Korean language diploma. So we have quite common that students do that. Okay, and then these are the programs that we offer. We have agriculture and environment, where we have agribusiness, agricultural science, equine science, web tech, and wildlife science under the postgraduate. Then we have architecture design, regional and town planning. And then we also have advanced humanity, Bachelor of Arts, where we offer up to 50 majors. Is one of the very comprehensive arts degree compared to any other university in Australia. Then we also have like international studies, where you have embedded 1 semester overseas experience, where students need to go for overseas experience. Then we also have the program example, economics, law, political philosophy and economics, PPE, and advanced finance and econs also as well. Then we also have educations, primary and secondary. Engineering, we have computer science, where students can major in cybersecurity, data science, machine learning. Engineering itself, even we have majors, example in aerospace, mining, fire safety, things like that. So basically, and also basically another program in health sciences here. If you can see, a very, very comprehensive program, law, medical program, science. Then we have actually sciences in all the different areas. And one thing, as I mentioned to you, we rated 5-star in student experience. We focus a lot in terms of student experience, and part of the experience we provide also as well, we do offer scholarships. So we do offer scholarship for direct entry students using A-levels, but there are also some scholarship for students who actually join UQ already for 1 semester or 1 year and apply for the scholarship also as well. So this is the website that you can use to navigate what scholarship that we offer. For example, like 20% tuition scholarship for the throughout of your whole duration of the program. There are some scholarship even offered by government actually in terms of the tuition fees. And during the COVID-19 now, last semester, we also partner with Study Brisbane to provide free meal, and we also have weekly hampers sent to students' houses every week when they request for it, and also other supports during the COVID-19. That's why our commitment for student support has been really high, because we want to make sure our students transition well and also adapting well. And one thing that we focus a lot in terms of like university processes, their academic, their welfare, even financial, their financial assistance provided, and even language support for students, international students first arrive. They can actually sign up for a roughly about 6-month program, where there is English program that not talking about like improving your grammar, is how to teach you how to do writing, how to do your referencing, all those for about up to 6 months. So we get our students to do a transition. And at UQ, one thing that we do also as well, we guarantee students accommodation. So when you want to actually join UQ, you let us know what guaranteed accommodation that you want, whether it's on campus or off campus, then our accommodation officer will try to arrange for that. And when you arrive, we do have airport pickup to pick you up from airport to the accommodation. Other than academic support, we also believe that students need to actually have a very well balanced lifestyle where we do have a lot of club and society. We can see about more than 200 over club and society that our students participate. For example, Harry Potter Alliance, Pokemon Go, UQ Malaysian Student Association, you have the science, or even you have the sports club and society also as well. And UQ Mates is a very good platform that our students use to actually make friends. That is where they actually group together to go for food, travel, learn languages, things like that. So even during COVID-19 now, where our students studying online last semester, they still communicate through the UQ Village. So our students still get connected. And how do you stay in touch with us? I would appreciate if you can actually like our Facebook, because from time to time you really get updates, even the video, how our semester start, how our students adapting well, is all actually in the Facebook link. And then this is actually the video that I'd like to share with you. Our students from the business faculty, when they do the video, basically the faculty do not tell them what questions what question they need to prepare, what answer they need to prepare for the video. It's actually very spontaneous. It's only on that day itself they got to know what questions. So that's why a lot of answer that they give is very spontaneous and very, we say from the bottom of their heart. I hope you enjoy this video.
The reason I chose the University of Queensland is that it's part of the group of 8 universities.
The University of Queensland is ranked top 50 in the world. I choose it because it's very beneficial for my future career prospect.
I think the coursework here has helped me a lot because the lecturers are so enthusiastic about letting us apply analogies into economic concepts so we can actually apply them in the real world.
Career transfer was one of the biggest deciding factor for me in deciding a university. And the University of Queensland gave me a generous career transfer.
So I've been studying in HELP for 2 years, and I've transferred all my credits into University of Queensland when I came.
Participating in the student employability team, I've attended some of their talks and workshops, and I've learned a lot.
The student employability team actually provides good platforms for us to develop our soft skills. It really prepares us for the workforce.
The BELSAT Student Work Experience Program has enabled me to work in Brisbane City Council. I'm really excited about what this means to my future.
I was lucky enough to be awarded the Malaysia Global Leaders Scholarship Award, and it not only provides financial assistance, but it also gives us a platform to connect and collaborate with people all around the world.
I'm part of the UQ Malaysian Student Association, which essentially helps Malaysian students transition towards the Australian culture. And we have a lot of fun.
Brisbane as a city is a wonderful place to live in.
The city is safe and the people are so friendly. If I have a late night lecture, I feel safe because I can use the safety bus to commute me from university to home.
I did my research and Brisbane came out on top in terms of cost of living, with affordable housing, food, and public transport.
Multi-Faith Centers has provided me a place to pray, which means I don't have to go home during the day.
The people here have great culture and are very friendly.
There are lots of halal options in Brisbane. Brisbane has some great food options, and one of my favorite is Eat Street Markets.
If you're thinking to study at the University of Queensland, I would say just go for it. It's amazing here.
Okay, so for example, for our tuition fees for next year in 2021, our tuition fees will remain unchanged where we follow 2020 tuition fees. And basically, this is my contact details. That is the Malaysian mobile number and my email address. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Okay, so basically at UQ, students have a lot of different opportunity to engage with employers, of course, our academics who are renowned in their research, where we connect you with employers also as well. There's and for example, and a lot of things that we do, we actually do a lot of pioneering research and where students benefit from it. And for example, UQ, we will become the first university next year, will be where our campus are fully actually supported by renewable energy. And even UQ Space, basically the UQ Space Society, they actually just announced that we're also building the first rocket in the world that built by students next year also as well. So that's why a lot of students are really able to actually take all this opportunity at UQ to do whatever they like, even entrepreneurship also as well. Okay, so is there any questions that you would like to ask?
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Chan, for the very detailed insight about University of Queensland. For our audience or our participants, is there any questions that you'd like to ask Ms. Chan about? Okay, we have a question from KT about the medicine course.
Okay, so at UQ, our medicine course is not direct entry. What we mean is like students with after A levels, you can join our provisional entry, means that you will do a 3 years program, example, Bachelor of Biomedical Science, with a guarantee entry for our Doctor of Medicine. If we are going through the provisional entry, where we will require 3 A levels with a 3 A's, and students need to sit for an ISET test, it's an aptitude test. And also basically students have to meet the English requirement in order to get this provisional entry. So if let's say you decided to join any program at UQ or any other university degree, and then you can apply for our graduate entry medicine also as well. That is the 4 years program for graduate entry medicine. Okay, so UQ, our medicine is not direct. You have to do a first degree. And at UQ, we have about 100 places available for international students for the graduate entry medicine. And in terms of the 100 places, some of it are split to Americans, where we have optional place, because we have a teaching hospital in America where the Americans will go back to do their hospital attachment. But for international students who join us, they will do the hospital attachment in Brisbane itself.
Okay. Do you have the rough costing
okay, for the first 3 years, depending on what program that you join, example, if you were to join our Bachelor of Biomedical Science, is about, I would say it's about 43,000 for first year. And then basically, if we talk the medicine program, our medicine program is roughly about 80,000 for 1 year. So for you're talking about the 4 years medicine is about 320,000 for the 4 years, and the first 3 years maybe about 130 over thousand. So basically, it's quite close to about $500,000 Australian dollars for a medical program.
Okay. Hopefully that answers Katie's question.
Yep. And the living cost in Brisbane is much more lower, like as you hear from the students. Living cost in Brisbane is about 15,000 to 18,000 to 25,000. Why there's a gap is depending on the lifestyle and the accommodation that you get. And definitely living cost is much more lower compared to Sydney, Melbourne. And also there's a survey done that Brisbane city living cost is even lower than Canberra and Perth also as well. So because we also have public transport, and one thing that Brisbane City actually basically we are located in the biggest agriculture and farming industry. So basically, if you really do cooking, the grocery is normally much more cheaper in terms of the local produce, because Queensland State is largest export in terms of their vegetable fruits to other states also as well.
Thank you so much. Maybe is there any other questions from other participants? Okay, there's one from Leon Tong asking about A-level entry.
Okay. Ian, so basically for the A levels, it doesn't mean that it's a must, but in terms of like after O levels, definitely you need a pre-university level. When we talk about pre-university level, you can consider doing, like example, A levels, IB, Ontario Secondary School Diploma, like CIMP, or you can do, there are some students in Malaysia where we accept STPM, UEC also as well, or and some of for foundation itself is very, very subjective, and we only recognize in Malaysia that is Monash Foundation, that is actually for entry to the UQ program. But of course, depending on what program that you're looking at, some program like medicine, we don't take foundation students. A-levels is the one that for provisional entry. And some of the programs also as well, depending on what you are doing, that is very important because the entry point, entry score, or the time that you finish the pre-university might affect in terms of the application. So for example, our dental science, we only have intake in February. So if you finish your program, example, by January, your A-levels in January, maybe the places for us is not available anymore for dental science. Okay, so it's quite important for you also to look at, because Australian intake, like UQ, our intake is February and July, and majority of the programs are available in February intake only. So it's very important that you work backwards in terms of the pre-U that you plan to do, so that you can align, and when you join us, you have enough time. And some of the programs you apply, especially Quota program, even we talk about physiology, physiotherapy, speech, all those, it's important to get the results earlier, because normally if a students get result by January, most of these places are already filled up by then.
Okay. So basically, okay, there's another question from Katie about foundation. Do you offer?
We do offer a foundation. Our foundation is done in Australia, that is Brisbane, that our students can do 1 year foundation. That is, we talk about the standard foundation, that is roughly about 10 months. Or there are some express foundation that our students can do, is roughly about 6 months, where basically it's very express. So basically, the foundation is normally also depending on when you join the foundation, that it will merge nicely to the university. So one thing about our foundation also as well, we do have some guaranteed places for dental science, physiotherapy, where students will get an offer for foundation together with dental science 5 years if we are eligible for that. So we do have that pathway also as well, but the foundation have to be done in Australia. Yes. Yes, there's a comment by Elaine. Yes, it's done by the IES College that is located in the Brisbane city. So basically, students can still use the UQ facilities also as well.
Okay, is there any other questions from the audience? Just wondering, just now during your video, I heard that there are some comments from the students, the existing students, that there is credit transfers.
Yes, they are, because some programs like business, engineering, we do have some partners in Malaysia that we work with, that you can do like 1 year or 2 years before you can transfer. So for example, for engineering, depending on what majors you're looking for, you can consider like study 2 years at UCSI, Taylor's, you know, before transferring to us. For even like business, you can consider like HELP, INTI, Taylor's, UCSI, or even Sunway. So depending on the program, but not all programs we do have transfer, especially Quota program, we normally don't have arrangement for that. But in terms of other programs, they are, provided that some majors are available in locally. But majority of students, even they want to do some majors not available, they might transfer earlier. For example, I have like engineering students. Any one of you are engineering who are interested? So I'm just saying, like, for example, engineering, students can do 1 year locally, and that I mean in the selected institution, and then transfer to us for 3 years, where students will be able to do like mechanical with a major in aerospace. Because a lot, like example, aerospace major is not available locally by institution because it's a very high cost program. Even aerospace itself, we have Boeing research on campus. Even at UQ, we do have example, mechanical with fire safety also as well. It's one of its kind in Australia, fire safety. So basically, these are the majors very unique, where it's not available in Malaysia, where students will do a bit earlier to do the transfer compared to like 2+2. Okay, but of course, there are also students who are looking options like, you know, to remain in, I mean, after you study in Australia 2 years, if you want to remain in Australia another 2 years to work, you need to have the duration at least 2 years of study in Australia, okay, to fulfill the requirements, so that you can apply for a post-work study visa. That's how our students sometimes, when they do all the engagement during their internship, voluntary work, or even mentoring program in the final year, then they actually get connected with employers. With the visa, they can actually retain in Australia and continue on with their work.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for the information.
Always, yeah.
Okay, is there any other questions from the audience? because we will be wrapping up very soon. It's 3:45.
Yeah.
So basically, if there's any other questions that you suddenly thought of after the session has ended, maybe you can contact Ms.
Elaine.
Chan directly or even Elaine from MMS. Yeah. So is there any final questions from the audience? Okay. So if that's the case, I will say that we will be ending our talk with Ms. Chan from University of Queensland. So if you have any more questions, just email or even message them directly. And thank you so much, Ms. Chan, for your presentation today. And
Thank
hope
you, everyone.
everyone enjoyed and understand fully what University of Queensland had to offer. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening, and also happy National Day on the 31st of.
All right. Happy National Day in advance.
Okay. Yep. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.